Thank you for tuning into the Stacey Thomas Unrestricted Unlimited show. Unrestricted Unlimited, we say that because we have yet to see what God has for us, and you cannot put myself nor my guests in a box. Today's show is sponsored by Self-Care Wellness by Deborah Hanson. Deborah has conducted wellness workshops on topics such as self-care, stress management, journaling, workplace wellness, and financial wellness. Deborah has facilitated intimate gatherings for women with a focus on relaxation and creating valuable connections. Deborah offers natural and organic personal care products such as soy candles and shea butters, body scrubs, and a CBD product line through Soul Purpose. Additionally, she offers a nutritional line of products to support the immune system and overall health needs. Deborah mentors entrepreneurs seeking financial solutions and supplemental income through the independent distribution offered by Soul Purpose and Youngevity. Deborah Wellness and Social Endeavors are world-reaching as she markets and sells fair trade handcrafted jewelry, which supports women, artisans, in impoverished countries around the world through Noonday Collection. Thank you for sponsoring Stacey Thomas Unrestricted Unlimited Talk Show, Deborah Hanson. Hello. I have today with me CEO Magazine. You guys heard me right. The popular magazine coming out of Richmond, Virginia. I have Editorial Director of Richmond's most popular magazine, Sharon Oliver. Hello, sweetheart.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you, beautiful?
Good. Anytime you can come to an interview and wear your t-shirt and your pajamas, it's a good day.
I know that's right. Thank you, beautiful. I know you're very busy, but thank you for taking the time to join us, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, and because I know you're so busy, we're going to get this done, and we're going to let people know who is the woman behind CEO Magazine. I have often, even working for you and being around you, Sharon, I honestly never understood how you handle so much. That's why we have the caption of how does Sharon Oliver wear so many hats and can still be a boss? I like that word. So Sharon, how did you come up with CEO Magazine in the beginning?
Well, I think it kind of came from my corporate background of working at Capital One for about 10 years and then deciding to have a child and go home and decide to raise Braxton. And then basically what happened is 23 years later, I really understood that women kind of just do it all. Like I saw so many single moms who came into the daycare, and we were running a 24-hour daycare, 7 days a week. And so it was very taxing, and we were managing a team, et cetera. And so when I first started CEO Magazine, it was really based on the theme of supporting women who do it all, because I saw moms walk to the bus stations with the children on the back and in their little, knapsacks and things. So I really wanted a magazine that would give women a voice and a platform to just show exactly how amazing they really were.
So it didn't start, as far as your career, you didn't start off with a magazine. You said you had a daycare?
Yep, it all started with the daycare. I started off with the daycare, and then during that marriage or whatever, we actually owned a lingerie store. Store, right where they've actually tortured, unfortunately, but we owned a toy store. Yeah, right on Broad in Collins now. So we had toys, we had a wig shop, and things of that nature. So
They say never judge a book by its cover, Sharon Oliver.
No, and I absolutely enjoyed selling toys. That was like the highlight of my life. Yeah.
So you had the children and you had the toys. Talk about keeping life exciting. So when the vision came to you to create the magazine, is that something that you questioned, or did you feel as though that was something that God had set you on a path to do?
Well, I really was just kind of passionate. I'm always like wondering what's the story behind something, and I always want to hear women's heart. So I think that's comes to ministry in general, that's just something that I really was very passionate about. And I'm like, these women may not never make it to Oprah's magazine, but I really want to hear their stories because, we had parents that were in subsidized housing, but they was going to school and becoming nurses. I mean, we just saw all of these women just really excelling, using what the government support gave them, but also excelling in their craft, just not sitting around waiting, but actually taking charge of their life. And that's kind of what sparked, the magazine is just and we didn't know what we were doing at first. We didn't know where to start or anything. And nobody is interested in telling you. So it was just real fearful, like, oh my God, what do we do? Pulling information. Sometimes that's why a coach is so very important, because you can just spend so much time, pulling information and begging for information, so one of my friends, talked to me about the magazine. We met for a couple of times and then there we are. So.
And you use that word fearful, Sharon.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That's like one of the biggest things people fight, their fear. Mm-hmm. So I know, I'm going to assume it wasn't very easy. And if it wasn't very easy, what did you do about the fear? You said something about being fearful. How did you beat it?
Well, I think sometimes a little fear, is always good. It kind of fuels you. You can either use it to fuel you or you can use it to hinder you. And many times I've chosen to allow it to hinder me. But in this particular case, if you don't, like, I think my son said something about fear. I should have wrote it down. He's like, Mom, if you continue to fear, no venture will be gained or something. Like, you won't be able to progress to your next step if you allow fear. But sometimes fear has protected us at times, because it's probably not the best idea that I run out there and greet a black bear. It's probably not. So common sense. But also sometimes fear will propel you to do something. Just do it afraid at times, because if you don't step out there, you won't know what will happen. That's for sure.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So Sharon, you said your son. So obviously you're a mother.
Yes. Have 3.
Wife.
Wife or light?
I'm sorry?
Did you say wife or right?
Wife?
No.
But you've been a wife.
I've been a wife,
so
yes.
You've been a wife.
Yes.
And you said with your businesses, you had the businesses while you were married. You have children, right?
3. Mm-hmm.
When you did all the other businesses and you decided to do the magazine, is it too personal to say how old were you?
Oh no, well right now I'm 47. So we had daycare for 23 years. So we kind of were what they call a serial entrepreneur, doing multi businesses sometimes at one time. So I started a daycare roughly right around 20, I guess maybe 20, 22, something like that. And then I was, in terms of other businesses, I was probably, I would say still somewhere in my 30s, but I mean, I was just kind of very productive. Even from 20, I was just like, okay, I'm buying my first house at 21. So it was just kind of progressive. Being from the country, just like do things faster sometimes.
And the magazine started, that's where I'm getting, the magazine started at what age?
2014 is when we the magazine. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And I say that because for the women that are watching, Sharon, that don't know you, that don't know how inspiring you are, I need those women to see that it doesn't matter how you start. It doesn't matter how many years you put into it. Even as a wife, a mother, and an entrepreneur, you're just keeping it moving, huh?
Yeah. I was 40. Because it's been, let me see. I can't even do my math. At that particular time.
You proved true that someone said to me one time when I said, well, I'm getting older. I don't think I can try this. And he says to me, how old are you? And I was in my early 40s. He said, think of it like this. You're doing the second part of your life. And Sharon Oliver, you're proof that the second part of my life, I can still do things. You know?
Yeah. I don't know what you're trying to say about that.
I mean, it's a great thing what you're doing. I mean, some people are afraid and you're still doing it. I mean, obviously you're still young, but some women will look at raising children and being married as if they give up, Sharon. They give up. You know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because you feel your identity. I was just telling someone, in fact, I was just telling my partner yesterday. I said, you know what? Going back after COVID, it's like I'm having to redefine my identity. I'm like, like, oh my God, like, do I even want to go back? Like, can I, I can't do meetings at Club CEO in my pajamas, right? And so so even going back after so long and walking in and looking around, sometimes it feels, uncomfortable. So yeah. So it's like starting my first day of school all over again.
So, and you started following you once again and being around you. You started the magazine and you've branched off, and I want you to tell us about those things that you're doing. But what I want to ask you the most is, why share? Why not create your magazine, market it, get it out there? Why have you created these different groups and bringing these other women in to make sure they're blessed also? Why?
Well, I think that we're stronger when we have sisterhood amongst each other. And I just really feel that and sometimes being an entrepreneur, you really do feel alone a lot, because I'm not able to now go to Capital One and be around my coworkers and, work on climbing the corporate ladder. So, and you need to build a tribe of women that you feel like you can trust or be around, be vulnerable, be seen naked, whatever that is. And so therefore, you can do all of it by yourself, but I think you gain more ground when you're able to do it with other women, like-minded women, of course.
Okay, can I list all that has come from CEO Network and you give us a little bit about each one of them for the viewers?
Sure.
Club CEO and CEO Studios.
Okay, so Club CEO is really about dream, grow, explore. It's really about a networking of women that can come there and host events and be able to have like their networking. So our space basically becomes your space. That's what it is. We offer memberships, one-time rentals, things of that nature. So pretty much I like to think of it as a birthing center. I should have been a midwife. But I really believe in, I'm always like, oh my God, I love a good dream. I love for women to say, tell me like, oh my goodness, because I see it. And I think that's the designer eye in me is I see it before they even birth it, just from their passion. So the studios that we've created, one is a photography and filming studio, that's CEO Network. And then Club CEO is a place where they can kind of come network. And then we have a product studio for them to go in and showcase their products. So all of that is just basically about like an incubator of seeing things just be birthed out and going forward. I think that's a blessing.
I like that. Like the way that sounds. Chicks with Brands.
Where'd you come up with all this stuff at?
When someone follows you and they see all that you're doing, unless they're a hater, they're going to want to know what's up with Sharon Oliver.
Okay. Well, Chicks with Brands is pretty much a networking group that we get together, and it's not traditional networking. It's, I don't always like to get dressed up all the time and have to wear stilettos. You got to do all that stuff. But Chicks with Brands is really more of a time where different women can come together that actually have brands, and we actually feature those particular women in the magazine under our Chicks with Brands. It's like, who's the new kid on the block, and what is there? Tell us more about your brand.
Okay, so just a couple more before you leave us. The Pink Society.
You just named them all today. Well, the Pink Society is a spinoff from Pink Magazine, Pink, and pretty much that is like places where to go, what to eat, where to shop, and where to do business. So that's a camaraderie of all the businesses kind of coming together. And society is just the women that are part of those particular brands.
Okay, so 2 more groups, okay? Twine, well, maybe 3. Twine and CEO Publishing.
Okay, so CEO Publishing is the umbrella for CEO Magazine. So it is our publishing company. And then Twine is a wedding industry for professional networking group. And we have quarterly events, me and 4 like other minded partners get together in the wedding industry to actually give us a platform. So therefore we look for African-American individuals and all races that can come together to actually take the front of the line versus being pushed back. so that, because we have definitely elite vendors, and a lot of times in some of the shows, we're not given proper credit. So this is to network and find out, oh, you're an African-American vendor, you own a trolley system, seriously? So here, now we get to promote you as opposed to not knowing who you are.
Okay. So there's a new show that you're producing, and I'm not sure if that's part of the 92.7 FM.
It is. So we have a show called Authentically Sharon. It's aired about maybe three times, and we do it every Thursday at 1 p.m. at 92.7 FM down in Chester. And it's just another one of those, oh my God, I may never be ready for this, but I'm going to go ahead and do this afraid. And I absolutely love it. Like, it's like I was just born right in the studio. So I really do love it. And it's just kind of sort of, now it's one more thing to prepare for, because, you always got to, everything comes with work. That's the only thing. Yeah, so I absolutely love it. I mean, it's like, oh my God, I don't know what I may say. So I tell people ahead of time, please excuse me or not, but whatever comes to mind, that's what we're going to talk about. So whether it's sex, relationships, whatever, we've had some pretty exciting shows.
Okay, and they're going to tune in to 92.7. Sharon, if we have viewers that are out of the state, how would they find the show?
Okay, they would just simply go to my Facebook, Sharon Oliver on Facebook, and we broadcast the show Facebook Live, as well as if you're in the car listening to the radio. Okay,
so just a few comments, Sharon. Let's see. So one said, did they hear toys? LOL. I guess they were very surprised, Sharon. And let's see. Okay, there's a young lady's, I guess, making a comment to what you said. How you finish makes the difference because you're continuing to grow.
Absolutely.
Beautiful Sharon Oliver.
So yeah, he did hear right, toys. I don't know what, people get all tight about anything that deals with sex. And that's absolutely, to me, that's just not a problem for me. People have different ailments. There's reason why they use toys for pleasure or because they need help, etc. So why should people be depriving themselves when there's some things, if your spouse is able, or sometimes it's just for fun,
That's right.
I believe in a no judgmental, so yeah.
Obviously,
we'll do it again, given the right.
Obviously, you're non-judgmental, Sharon. You're on the Unrestricted Unlimited Talk Show. You deal with I am Stacey Thomas, right?
Yes.
So before we go, beautiful, what is it that you would like to say about yourself that I haven't asked, or maybe just something that myself and others need to know?
Well, I guess I should have thought about that, right? I just figured I'm good with non-scripted, but I think that in times, all of us definitely have a lot of anxiety about the different things, the riots, COVID, we've had losses, we have gains and things of that nature. But I guess if it was anything I wanted people to know, is that I try to remind myself that I may not know what tomorrow holds, but I know what holds tomorrow for me, and that's Christ. So I really focus, because just like no matter what you have going on, we compare ourselves. The enemy is always trying to shake us, but you got to build your foundation. You got to know that you're using good mortar. You don't want to use sand, because if you've built your foundation, then you have something to reach back and say, God, this doesn't feel right, but you told me. So I may not know, but I'm going to trust you. And so I'm just now reassessing and saying, God, every brick that I lay, let it be the right mortar, let it be the right compound. So therefore, what I build, it remains. So
powerful. You don't know what tomorrow holds, but you know who holds tomorrow.
That's right.
Wow. Sharon,
that's what I need to know. So
it's been great, sweetheart. And if anyone wants to follow you, if anyone wants to advertise in your magazine, follow you, keep up with you, how do they do that?
You can find me on Instagram at _Sharon Oliver, and also on Facebook as Sharon Oliver. And the magazine is www.myceomagazine.com. And of course, my Club CEO and my CEO Network. So,
okay.
It kind of leads you to it drips all over to the next breadcrumb.
Yeah. And if they can't find me, they can always inbox me.
Yeah,
I'll find it for you. Thank you, beautiful.
Thank you so much for having me, Stacey. I'm so proud of you.
Sweetheart, you're one of the reasons. I don't care if the world knows. You're one of the people. Okay, let me just say this. Sharon Oliver, what I said that she does for other women. Women, she's not telling a tale. She is that person that does not mind sharing blessings if she's being blessed. Be sure to check Sharon Oliver out on Facebook. Okay. I'll see you next time, sweetheart.
Okay, yes, Stacey. Thank you, guys.
Bye. Another great show, if I should say so myself. This is the Stacey Thomas Unrestricted Unlimited Talk Show. I'll remind you guys, for latecomers that have never watched my show, Unrestricted Unlimited simply means don't put me in a box, don't put my guests in a box. We have yet to see all that God has for us. On Wednesday, before I shout out my sponsor again, this Wednesday at 6 p.m., I will be speaking with Judge Ashley Dunstan, Wake County, North Carolina. I love saying this. She is the third and youngest African American female to hold that position in Wake County, North Carolina. I want to tell you about my sponsor, Deborah Hanson of Self-Care and Wellness. I'm going to put her banner up. If you guys need any self-care products, if you need financial education, I would like for you to check out Deborah Hanson. Information will be posted. And thank you, Mrs. Hanson, for believing and supporting the Stacey Thomas Unrestricted Talk Show.